What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the final round of the 2025 Majestic. We are out here for stop number 5 on the Go Throw Tour at the beautiful Blue Ribbon Pines course. My name is Braden Sides.
My name is Randy Duig.
And we have some very exciting coverage brought to you by Infinite Discs. This is going to be an exciting day. We've got some people. I think we have Joe in the lead by a few shots, but we've got some killers right on his tail. I think it's going to be a very exciting finish, and I'm looking to watch it with you all.
Should be a fun final day. Let's look at our lead card. First up, we got Luke Taylor. He had a 1051 rated. Second round, Team Discraft popping off this year.
We've got Mr. Cale Leiviska, also Team Discraft, 1045 rated, round number 2.
There we have Mr. Jaden Rye. See if he can put himself in position to take this one down.
And finally, rounding out our chase card, you all know him, Matteo, Team Westside. And let's get it started. Hole number 1, par 3, 340 feet. Straight shot, hasn't changed all weekend. You just throw it up here with your straightest disc. But you're going to need a little bit of stability today, I believe. We always had a little bit of a wind on this hole. So, yeah.
The wind has been pretty consistent all weekend. It's been left to right on this hole every single day. So the players should be pretty well adjusted and they should have their discs figured out.
From Shepherd, Michigan, I give you Luke Taylor.
I don't know the gentleman's name, but every player introduction that he did that I saw was pretty entertaining.
It was pretty detailed and he had a lot to say.
Yeah, I liked him. Luke throwing it just a little bit wide. Looked like everything about that shot was pretty solid, other than he might have started it just a few feet offline to the right.
Minnesota Majestic champion, and probably the GOAT of all disc golf in Minnesota. I give you, from St. Paul, Minnesota, Cale Leiviska.
I guess Jaden got confused there for a second. He might have thought he was talking about him.
Jaden heard the word GOAT and he just wanted to stand up and throw.
I like the confidence, but let's see how Cale attacks this hole number 1. I wonder how many times Cale has played this course.
I mean, we were watching coverage from like 2008 the other day throwing this shot.
Yeah. There we go. Good start. Yeah, looks like a beauty. A little bit short, but very makeable putt to start off his day.
Next up to the tee from Murphy, Texas, Jaden Rye.
We saw Jaden's tee shot on this hole yesterday, and it was pretty errant. Let's see if he can make the adjustment today.
I would bet that he probably can.
There we go. This looks like a much more committed shot.
That looks perfect, but he clips to the last 2 trees, but he still squeaks inside the circle. That's nice.
A little bit of Plinko action, but he's going to have a very makeable putt to start off his day.
Introduction. If there was a People's Choice Award in disc golf, I think it would go to none other than Mario.
I think he nailed it on the head with that one.
Yeah, I've never heard of anyone disliking Matteo. There might be a hater or two out there, but kind of doubt it.
Matty doesn't like it. A little right.
Need some help.
It's going to be a long one to start the day. I think the key for these guys, if they really want to try and make a push, is having a hot start. Because we didn't mention this, but today we are only playing 18 holes.
Right.
For the rest of the Majestic, we were playing 27 holes a day. Today is only 18. Granted, we are playing some of the harder 18. They've taken out some of the more scoreable holes. But Mr. Joe Revere has a nice little cushion on these guys, and I think if they want to make a push, they're going to have to start out hot. So
Yeah, very little margin of error. Cale gets his round going with a nice birdie putt. Looked very confident there by Jaden. That always feels good.
Yeah, it's always nice when you can have, a slightly tester putt to start the day and give it a confidence stroke and see it go right in the basket. Oh.
Could be having some grip issues out here. It's pretty humid, so you might see some players taking a little bit of time on their grip. That is 2 birdies and 2 pars. Matteo looks a little shaken. We're on to hole 2 now. Par 4, 450 feet. You want to hit this gap here, and you can choose whether you want to go down the left side or right side. I think a lot of players are probably going to be going for the right side, and some just try to jam it down the left side. If you execute the left side well, it's an easy little chip and even an eagle play. But let's see how they attack it here.
Yeah, we saw Jaden get pretty close yesterday, just barely missing the putt a little bit low. Cale looking like he doesn't want anything to do with the two. Throwing a slow disc here.
Hits a tree. Definitely doesn't want anything to do with the two.
Yeah, those are the ones to avoid. If you can manage to get through that initial gap, typically you'll be in a pretty decent spot.
Looks like Jaden might be going for the left side here. Just throw it dead straight. That looks amazing.
Did he throw backhand yesterday?
I believe he did, but
okay.
I'm not 100% certain. Luke going for a little bit of a hyzer flip. Looks like he was going for the left side as well. Hit something that might be a little bit of a difficult approach, but we'll see.
Pretty solid shot. I think like I said in round 2, the key to this hole is just managing at least 50% up the fairway on this tee.
Yeah.
And that was a pretty fortunate kick from Cale. I think he hit one of the middle kind of clump of trees and kicked off to the left side of the fairway. You might actually have a look for par.
Sounds like a back Alabama road right there.
Matty making light work of this hole. Yeah, as you can see, these guys got pretty far up the fairway. Maybe didn't land exactly in the middle of the fairway because, it is pretty narrow, but you're always going to have some kind of look into the green. It's kind of just the nature of this hole being so short.
I think Jaden has another putt here. Not sure if he can really see the basket, but he gave it a long little stab. Oh,
wow. An unfortunate backstop, but that looked like a very solid effort from a awkward position. Speaking of awkward positions.
Get it there, dude. Gosh.
Comes up just a little bit short.
that is frustrating. I did the same thing in round 1. Was in a perfect spot, didn't execute a good upshot, and you just are left with only a 4. Very uncharacteristic by Cale to miss that putt, but he was slightly obstructed, had to go down to a knee, so those can be difficult sometimes. Luke cleans up his par.
Not really the start you want if you're, trying to chase down the leader, going par on the first 2. Jaden, however, ideal start.
Does it concern you how much Infinite Discs uses your likeness in their marketing?
No, not at all. First off, the Alpaca is an amazing putter.
Right.
And alpacas don't miss shot. I might get Proctor. And Infinite Discs is a great company. They have like 100,000 discs in stock, so their selection and prices
Yeah,
are
for
incredible.
sure.
So I'm not concerned about being associated with them. I'll tell you what does concern me though.
What?
The rise of AI.
Oh yeah, that's scary stuff.
AI is everywhere and also like so hard to tell it was real. I was not.
Here we are at the iconic hole out here at Blue Ribbon Pines. Hole number 3, par 4, 444-foot tunnel shot. You have two ways of attacking it. A short chip shot, kind of just the same shot twice, straight and straight. Or if you're feeling confident, throwing some kind of faster disc down this gap and managing to not touch a single tree, hopefully, and getting up there for a long look at the two. I think that we're going to see at least 2 attempts of getting all the way down to the green.
Yeah, Jaden's got a driver for sure. That could be rough. Don't know how far of a kick he got, but there is OB on the left-hand side. Matteo going much lower, which is better.
Wow,
Needs a
it
little
looks
bit of flip.
He's going for the green too. That's spectacular.
Wow.
Almost a guaranteed 3 at worst.
Luke going for it as well. Nice and low. Slight flip. Dead center the whole way. Exactly what you want. Oh, put a lot of hyzer on that one.
Great shot, dude.
And played it smart.
Wow. 3 very solid shots. And Jaden going to be just hoping to get up and down for the 4.
It's a lot of work left for par here.
Beautiful.
This is
bro.
looking great.
What a shot.
That's a great recovery. This hole can, you know, being a 444-foot par 4 sounds, on paper, pretty simple and unlikely to bogey, but this one can get very out of hand pretty quickly if you throw an errant shot like Jaden did off the tee, but he did a great shot of recovering there.
Matteo from circle 2.
Just barely off.
We have an eagle putt here by Luke. Cash. What a putt.
Great putt. I think that's what Luke needed to start off his round, and you know, if he's going to be, if he wants to be in the hunt for this win, he's definitely got to be making shots like that.
Yeah, it's a good momentum boost. After being even through 2, all of a sudden he's 2 down through 3. Here we have hole 4, another par 4, 520 feet. This one's a tricky hole. It's hard to get to the perfect landing zone. I think ideally you want to shape something through here and have it land as close to the OB as possible, because that opens up the second shot. You will be throwing over the OB most likely, and then the last bit you just try to get through all the trees as the green is pretty well guarded.
Averaging a stroke and a half over par, according to our graphic.
Yeah. That's gonna work.
That's a very good drive, and I think that it's not going to be rewarded as well as it should be.
Matteo going roller here, very interesting. If this works out, it could pay off. There's OB straight.
This looks great.
Very nice.
That's a good shot, but still not a simple shot into this green. Cale looking to replicate Luke's shot, but tugs it just a little bit inside. And this is another hole where, again, it's, how far did we say it was? 520 feet. You know, par 4 seems pretty simple, but once you get out of position, it can be really tricky because of the way that the out of bounds is placed on this hole. Like this position we see from Jaden, this is going to be pretty challenging.
Yeah.
He's going to have to make a decision whether or not he wants to go over the OB or not on his second.
Cale here, is he looking to go aggressive? Yes, he is. Just going for it.
And throws a great shot, but at the last 1% of his flight gets punished for just being centimeters off.
Very common result with those line of trees. Guarding the OB. Here's Jaden. Needs to get through everything.
That's a great shot.
Yeah. That should give him a putt for sure.
But see, like, great shot from Luke. And he's not really rewarded with all that great a position. Now he makes it look like that was the best position in the world.
Not an easy shot at all by any means.
And Matteo
Wow.
throwing the sidearm roller. I think his thought there is the disc is less wide when it's vertical, so it's less likely to hit a tree.
Yes. I believe I heard that he's had some bad experiences on this hole, so he's just doesn't mind a par.
Yeah, I don't think anybody minds a par in this hole.
There's still a chance for birdie though.
I think he missed that one because he didn't catch the glasses like he normally does.
All right.
And a great Anheuser putt around that little tree. That was not the easiest of putts, but he made it look easy. Matty just squeaking it in there for the par. Two birdies on this hole. It's pretty incredible. Hole number 5, par 4, 620 feet. One of my favorites on the course. A great disc golf hole. You have the option to lay up short of the pond, or if for some reason you're feeling aggressive, try and go over. I don't think we're gonna, or I know for certain we're not gonna see anybody do that on this card. You can throw a sidearm off the tee, a straight putter, hyzer putter. Kind of pick your poison on this one, but just try to be in a position where you're gonna have a swing. And typically you'll have anywhere from 400 to 340 feet into the green on this one. It's a great position there from Luke. He's going to be looking at, mid to high 300 into the green.
Yeah, I like this forehand flex play by Jaden. If it works out, which it doesn't, you usually get up there a little bit further and it makes the upshot a little bit easier.
Matty narrowly missing those trees. Pretty good result. Cale looking to match Luke and Matt. Gets a little bit further up there, but I wonder if he might be slightly too left where he's kind of got a little bit of a pinched off angle.
Yeah, I think he's far enough down there, and
Wow,
he should
Jaden
be
being
fine.
aggressive.
Well, it is over.
No fear by him. He just sent it.
Yeah. Doesn't look like he'll be in the greatest of positions, but he did bite off a lot of distance on that shot.
Here we go, Maddie.
Mario needs us to miss the last trees.
Good kick. Nice job, Maddie.
Thank you.
Looking pretty good from Luke. Just has to beat the one that Matty hit. It's gonna be a little bit short left, but a look. And you're happy with a look for 3 on this hole.
Yeah, Cale's in a decent spot here.
Yeah, he bit off a lot of distance on that drive.
I like the shape of this.
Typical result. This one's hard to park. There's a lot of trees that get in your way late in the flight of the second shot.
Oh, Jaden's got some work left here.
Yeah,
It's like a scramble shot.
Looks like he's on a hole 9's fairway.
Oh my.
He's gonna have some work left for the par, but pretty good work on that shot to give him an opportunity for it. I think that was one of those putts where you have to barely miss the tree in order
Right.
for it to fade just in time to go in the basket.
All right.
Wow.
So you're off by millimeters, but you look a little bit silly. But
Yeah, it was a great shot.
Cale squeaking it in left side. Nice birdie. These putts are very important, especially from chase card. Can't afford to make a lot of mistakes. Nicely done.
great putt. Huh. That's like the third time that we've seen him do that.
Yeah,
feel like
I'm not
we-
sure what's going on.
We never see him like kind of reset like that normally. Normally when he's ready to go, he just goes. Good cleanup putt there by Luke. Pretty solid. Bogey free on the fifth.
And that takes us to hole number 6. Par 3, 372 feet. One of the iconic holes in this course, I believe. It's such a satisfying hole if you can execute it perfectly, and an absolutely devastating hole if you kick off the fairway at all. Highly likely that if you don't hit your gap, you're gonna kick it into some thick stuff. So a good shot will be highly rewarded here.
Cale, I imagine going with some fairway driver of some sorts.
A lot of highs there, a little early left, and
It's gonna be trouble. This is another one of those holes where it is crucial to get, good distance off the tee just to secure the par. This is looking very good from Luke. Fading a little bit early, but you're happy with that result. Long look at the two.
Did that hit nothing?
Jaden kind of got some distance after early releasing there.
You're a mean
He
person.
might get away with a 3.
You were so messed up.
Good looking shot from Matt. Kind of looks like it'll end up in the same spot as Luke.
Go.
Kind of gets some love. Kind of grinding off the little log there. Cale, I think from this position is just hoping to get a 4 and get out of here. Does not look like an easy position to get the par, but
Gives
he made
himself a look.
very good work on that shot. Might have been a little bit further up the fairway than I imagined. Good shot from Jaden. Probably going to be about 20 feet or so for the par. I think we can just let Luke do the commentary for himself when he.
He's doing pretty good. Cale knocking that in. Nice par save.
I feel like that's rare to see somebody get the 3 from being that in the rough that early off the tee. Great par save from Jaden as well.
Matty trying to gain a stroke on everyone. He does. Do you ever get more nervous when you're the only one that has like a birdie putt, or know that you can take a stroke on everyone? Does it enter your mind at all?
Not unless it's like
a big moment.
Yeah, a big coming down the stretch moment for the win type thing.
All right.
Hole number 7, par 4, 520 feet. I think this is a common theme out here at Blue Ribbon Pines. There's a lot of par 4s. None of them are too terribly long, but they're all very technical and require precision off the tee, and this one's no exception. You kind of can pick your poison, sidearm or backhand off the tee, once you execute that shot, you'll have a relatively short shot into the green, but you're really going to have to display some touch because of the water that is right in front of the basket. Matt throwing a decent shot, pulls it a little, and that's going to leave him with a longer shot into the green. That's kind of the territory where you have to make a decision whether or not you want to attempt to cross the tiny pond or not.
It's a great hole because you get really rewarded if your drive gets far down there. It makes upshot so much easier with the pond.
I think Cale kind of got a little bit of fortune there at the end, kicking him back into the fairway.
Oh my.
Luke using every inch of the fairway. Doesn't look like it turns quite enough, but he might have some kind of scramble opportunity from there to get up to the basket.
I like the forehand if you have it. Here's Jaden.
Really close to a great shot. Still not bad. I think he, like Luke, will have some opportunity.
This is where you just probably want to give yourself a look. You don't necessarily want to park it, but he gets caught up in some trees.
Wow.
Just shy of the OB, and that's maybe 40-footer?
Yeah, probably closer than that.
Wow. That's very fortunate.
I had a guy on my card, the little bridge over here to the left, I'm sure you'll see in a second.
Yeah.
That bridge that Cale just smoked,
Yeah.
he landed on the bridge.
Oh,
Wow.
wow.
That's where his disc stayed, which is right in between the two
Oh my goodness.
bodies of water.
This is a tough shot.
And it looks a little bit breezy too.
It's a good shot.
Very good shot. In the circle. Great shot from back there.
Oh, wow.
Great shot. Rewarded by a little love at the end. You hear Jaden say that's his bread and butter. It does seem like it. All of his sidearms seem to be pretty darn good today. Great putt from Luke. Those can be a bit nervy, standing right at the water, knowing that if you miss, it's likely that you're going to be taking an OB stroke.
This one right here, I think. Right next to the ground.
Looks like they're giving Cale the spot across. Looks like he probably hit in bounds.
Yep, hitting inbounds and bouncing back in the water. That's certainly the right call there. Looks like we're going to see a tap-in birdie from Jaden, and that's going to put him to 4 under alongside Luke and Matteo. All these guys are, I think, having the start that they need.
Yeah, they're putting themselves in contention for sure.
If they're trying. Yeah, Luke and Jaden especially. Hole 8 here, par 3, 425 feet. Just a big hyzer. This pond, or this little, what do you call this? Little ditch only really comes into play if you kind of saw off your hyzer. If not, the only thing you have to worry about is the speed control and the height in order to get the disc to stay away from that out of bounds long. I think this one is going to play tricky today. This wind was ripping, and it wasn't something we really experienced in practice.
Yeah, Matty.
We see a great shot there from Matteo, putting himself, looks like, in the circle. But,
yeah, it's so difficult to get the perfect distance.
yeah, reading this wind is definitely a challenge. It's kind of accelerating the discs towards the OB. Like I'm sure Luke probably thought he threw a really good shot there. And I mean, he did. He's, you know, in the circle, but OB, unfortunately. But it's just really challenging to get the distance exactly right.
This also looks a little bit inside. Hits the trees.
Pretty fortunate result there.
Wonder if Cale's gonna go for the low line. It's slightly lower.
And you can see the wind just, as soon as the wind starts hitting that flight plate, it just starts cruising left. So it looks like we're going to have 3 longer looks for the birdie. Or did Cale just go out of
Did Cale
bounds?
go OB? I didn't see that.
I'm not sure. I suppose we'll find out in a moment. But,
What a
great
putt.
Great putt from Jaden. Those are the putts he's going to have to be making if he's trying to make a late charge at this tournament.
You can hear the wind howling.
Maddie just squeaking it in there, using every ounce of his self to get that thing in the basket.
It's also a raised basket close to the OB, so if you miss at all, you're probably going OB. Now, Luke has a short putt here, but it's a pretty obvious headwind that is ripping. And I'm not surprised to see that, honestly. It can definitely happen so easily. If your nose is slightly up, it'll just raise.
Yeah.
And looks like Cale was OB, takes the bogey. Obviously, Luke very disappointed in that.
Yeah, short putts can be tough when it is ripping like a tornado out there.
Alright, we're on to the last hole of the front 9. 253 feet. Probably going to grab a putter. Some players might decide to go left gap, flex forehand. But it's pretty straightforward. Just throw a shot through the gap and give yourself a putt here. Preferably land in this little island here. It is not OB, but being in there will make the job much easier.
Imagine that this little bowl was OB.
And you have to re-tee till you make it.
Oh gosh, that would make this hole really hard.
I like how this looks.
Maddie, I don't know if he would be re-teeing or if he would be safe with our new rules on this hole.
Alright. Jaden going for that left gap. That looks very nice. Oh, he's in there.
Jaden would be safe.
He'd
Barely.
be safe.
Great shot from Jaden. That's going to put him to 6 under through the front.
These guys all gonna just throw it right into the bowl.
You know, one thing I really like about Luke's throw is the pace of his run-up. He never really seems to get out of control. Everything seems very smooth, compact. He just has a really good tempo to his swing, and I really think that you can see that, you know, the work he's put into it pays off because he's a very accurate player.
This should most likely be birdies for everyone on the card.
Squeaking it in there. just hanging on, but birdie is a birdie. What do they say? No pictures on a scorecard? Just video.
Just video.
Star frame for our chase card.
Not a bad start, but looks like Jaden and Matteo 6 down to the front 9. That's kind of the pace that you want to be doing right now to try to catch the lead card.
Yeah, Luke trailing just a little bit behind, but not bad by any means. Let's check out what the field is doing. Looks like Joe Revere, he's through 7 holes at 34 under. Jaden's gained some ground. He's only 2 shots back, of course, 2 holes ahead, but I mean, it looks like Jaden and Luke are certainly still in this thing. So I'm excited to check out the back 9. Thank you guys for catching the front 9 with us. We hope that you join us in the back 9. Go ahead and follow us on Instagram at BradenSidesDG, at Randy_Duick95. Check out the link in the description if you want to support me. My K1 Hard Reco, buying one of those would help my tour a long way. And I know Randy's got some discs coming out, so be sure to hit him up if you're interested. But we'll see you in the next one.